Hello and welcome back to this Glasgow City Council Technical Teachers 3D wood grain rendering curves number 2 in a sequence of about 5 videos in total, I'm afraid, folks. You see the third one we're looking at there, you can get an idea where the change will be in the end grain of this particular drawing, and that's where the big difference is here. So the curves that would normally go up the end now have to blend with the lines that would go along the top. So you can see we've taken the same sort of starting points at the bottom, but swung them right round to the top, and picking up where they would touch the right hand edge and drag them along towards the right hand side. So we now have the lines on. We now have practiced enough times. We're going to work on the inside of that curve, so the curves are elongated significantly in this top edge, and we're using the side of the tip of the pencil. Now remember, these are just representations of wood grain. By far and away the best way of doing this is to actually get some timber, profile it, plane it, machine it, whatever you're going to do, to have a look at it and then get an idea how the grain would run. Things I would avoid: hardwoods, because the density of the lines can be quite significant. There are some that are more open grained. Areas with knots, and wherever possible the grain growing along the length of the material. You can sometimes get an offcut cut the wrong way, and it'll throw this whole process off a little bit. So we're getting those lines and brown tonal bits. Turning the page, again, I really can't emphasize this enough. Turning the page makes a huge difference. Using the side of the tip of the pencil going along here. Now, although there's a lot of pencils shown at the top edge there, I'm not showing off. It's the same three we've used every time. A brown, an orange and a yellow will do the vast majority of this, so you don't have to go to the expense of a box of pencils. Those pencils, I think, box was about £18 for 72 pencils. To be honest, I will never use 80% of them. So the tip of the pencil, as I say, going along there, we're warming up the brown again. You can see that there's going to be an edge we need to define, and it's at the top. Now we're going to do that with tone, whereas the previous one, the tone change was on the right hand surface. This time the tonal change will be on the left hand towards the top surface. So the curve that is not firmed in, and maybe I should have mentioned this way back 100 videos ago, there's no internal lines firmed in. The only lines I've firmed in terms of pencil or pen work is the outline. So the internal changes in shape or form are simply suggested by 1, the wood grain, and 2, a major point, the tone, the shade, the shadow that we're going to add to this. And we will get around to shadow later on. You can see the background. We've got a cylinder to look at and a shape which is it's an odd combination of things, just to see how we can get around some awkward bits and pieces. So I've talked over, the hand's been doing the work. We've gone for the brown line, we've gone for the brown side of the pencil, we've gone over that with the orange to warm it up. We're doing a little touch of yellow on top. There might be little bits of white left on this, but we'll just get the basic thing. And I think you can even see, before we add any tone to this, any grey, you can definitely see you start to see the shape, the form of this particular piece of material. Now that might be the end of a handrest, or it could be a vehicle, model for younger kids with that sort of profile. Now we're using it's the same mask, talk about cheap, the same bit of paper, and wiping again on the right hand side, the darkest of the 3 surfaces, using the side of the tip of the grey pencil, or a 2B or HB pencil would do, towards the vanishing point. And I'm trying to follow that curve along. Again, you could possibly cut a piece of paper to get the same the mask a little bit more accurate, but I'm just simply turning it to try and follow that along and wiping off. Remember the mask, if you wipe off the paper, it doesn't pucker up. Okay, and from the back edge, a little bit easier with a straight line, wiping as if it's going away from where the vanishing point would be. This is fairly straightforward, and I think you might have a bit of a more visible edge at the top here between the flat side and the flat bit. Eventually the top does flatten off. So what's left? A little bit of the front edge maybe, but I think that's not a bad finishing point at the moment for a curve in that position. On to the next video.